Have you ever heard of the floating push-up to blow up your chest? Stick around to find out what that is and how you can use it. All right, guys, what's going on? Coach Frank here at the Critical Bench Compound with my good friend today, Mitch, IFBB Pro. We're going to talk about how to build a big, massive chest. And I think a lot of people, yes, when they want to build pecs, like the first thing is, bro, how much you bench? And yes, obviously as men, we're all going to go in there. We want to be impressive. We want to be strong. So doing bench press is going to be effective. Doing chest flies is going to be crucial for your development. Doing dumbbells is going to be crucial. But there's probably an exercise that maybe you're not doing that is keeping you from the full development that you deserve. But before we get into this exercise, guys, let me remind you that here at Critical Bench, we like to give away free stuff. You can click the link down there in the pinned comment below. We have a free report by the legend himself, the Iron Guru Vince Gironda, the 8 sets of 8 report, 100% free. Check it out in the pinned comment below. But Mitch, pecs.
What's up, Frank?
Why are they important?
Why are pecs important?
To an enhanced physique development.
Yeah. Well, if you lack a chest, you have a flat chest, and you know what they call that? A bird chest. So can't go around having a bird chest. I mean, to have a balanced chest, it just completes your overall physique. Specifically with Arnold. With Arnold Schwarzenegger, he had one of the best chests there was, and he never could make his chest too big. Like the thing is with your chest is it's not like your arms, it's not like your shoulders, it's not like your back, where like you can always consistently grow your chest, and it's like it always has room for growth, not like everything else.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people are probably too focused on, because your chest is really isolated. I mean, it's broken up into 3 main areas, right? You have your upper, your mid, and then kind of your lower. A lot of people have great mid-pec development. You know, that's a lot of bench pressing. A lot of our everyday movements are going to focus on that mid-pec development. Where a lot of people struggle is in that lower pec development. That's what's going to create that kind of shelf look. I mean, Arnold, when you saw him from the side, right? I mean, his chest was just literally like a shelf. We wanted to develop that bottom pec here. And the way that we do that is by dips. Now, Vince Gironda had a unique way of performing dips. A lot of people, when they do dips, it's elbows back here. There's a lot of front delt work. There's a lot of triceps being involved. Vince was able to look at the body and look at mechanics and be like, hey, if we slightly tweak our body, if we slightly change the way that we have our upper body position, we can much more target the lower portions of the chest. And that's what this V-bar dip does. So why don't you walk them through a couple demos here, and we'll kind of talk through some of the cues here. So as you can see, the first thing, and this is why we open up by saying like the floating push-up, right? Because if I look from the side, it literally looks like he's floating in the air and doing a push-up. But I can see it literally all working here because of the angle of his body, the angle of his arms, where all this tension and contraction is going is in this bottom pec. Now, as this begins to develop, it's going to push up his mid-pec, it's going to push up his upper pec, creating that shelf-like look. What are you focusing on here, Mitch, while performing the exercise?
So I'm squeezing like the middle of my chest, but I'm also focused on keeping my shoulders retracted, so that way I can get like all of that lower chest insertion. So if I go too high up here and I let my body kind of like go way above the bar, it's almost like the chest contraction comes off. So if I keep myself from like a shorter range of motion, I'm able to keep more of the mind-muscle connection on the chest itself. And then
not a full lockout at top, not a full lockout in the bottom. So really working that mid portion of the exercise. And I like that you said you were focusing on the inner chest contraction. The key here with any chest exercise, whether it's a bench press, whether it's a dumbbell press, whether it's a fly or a dip, if this exercise is being performed for muscle building purposes, specifically hypertrophy, that is done through a contraction of the muscle. And the chest fibers run horizontally this way. So by Mitch consciously thinking about squeezing the inner pecs, he's forcing the entire pec to have a deeper contraction while keeping his body in the plane position that it was, not allowing himself to fully lock out here, not allowing himself to overstretch at the bottom. So V-dips, last tips here.
Great exercise to grow your chest, to say the least. I mean, I feel like dips in general are just like underutilized. They really are. So many people.
Exercise for many.
Everyone asks me like, oh, how many reps can you do with 315, or like how much can you bench? That's always the most common question. Right? I'm sure Frank gets that all the time too. And like, if more people focused on doing dips, their chest would grow more than instead of doing bench press.
Yeah, so the challenge to you guys out there, in your buddies, in your workout circles, stop focusing on maxing out 315, and the next time you see your gym bros, ask them, how many perfect reps of the V-bar dip can you complete unbroken? Mitch, Coach Frank, we love you guys. Check out the free report, 8x8 there in the pinned comment below, and we'll see you in the next one.